All right, it is Advent of Code, day 9. Just a few seconds here. All right, here we go. Okay, it's a list of numbers. History of a single value. Difference of each step. If it's not all zeros, repeat it. This isn't all one sequence though. Repeat it for everything. So the value, okay. We want to get the value somehow. Keep going until it's zeros. Great. Add a new zero. And then I see. Okay. So get rid of this. Get the numbers from the line. Hopefully this works on negatives. And then compute on the nums. Okay, and the way that this is going to work is I think this should just be R. And then what we do is diffs minus 1. And then we're going to do I and I plus 1. Okay, if not equal, then we break, because now we're all zeros. Okay, and then once we're all zeros, then what we do is add the last value. It just sums the last values, I believe, of each sequence. And at this point, this includes the original sequence, so return sum dd minus 1 for dd and diffs. I think it's just that. Did I do that right? Nope. Whoa, diffs is, oh, whoops. Okay, so we get ndiffs, and then we need to diffs of append ndiffs. But diffs should not be negative, not be 0 anyways. What is the line here? This is the line. Whoa! Oh, I'm in the wrong day. Oh, that's tragic. Okay, there's a number. Rank 35. Extrapolate backwards. Okay. This is, whoa, if that's a 0, then this is a, oh boy. Well, this is the same approach, except now what we need to do, we need this value, right? Yes. That value is it just like alternating, negative plus, 10 minus 3 minus 2? I think that's right. So, I really hope so. For I, V, and diffs, V0, and then equals mult times V, mult times minus 1. That's a number. That seems too low to be the answer. Yeah, I think my logic here was incorrect. Oh, I think it needs to be in reverse order. That could be true. I have a minute. So that does give 10, but I don't know. Oh, wait. Sorry, 10. 10 is wrong. I think I might have jumped the gun here. Plus 10, minus 3, plus 0, minus 2. Okay, so what are we actually doing here? The bottom is 0. So what we take is, first we need to add this number. Then we need to subtract. Okay, let's just actually do it. Let's not think too hard about this. I don't want to be clever. For being, let's reverse diffs. So we're going backwards. And the question is, what value do we need such that RR plus V of, oh, 0, not -1. Okay, well, I don't know if that was the only issue, so let's just do it correctly. V of 0, this is currently RR, plus V of 0 is equal to, or sorry, new RR plus V of 0 minus new RR is equal to previous RR. So this means that new RR is equal to minus V0 times -1, V0 minus RR. Okay, let's send that. Not with the sample input, that's -4, that's wrong anyways. Oh no. Oh man, my brain is not working right now. Okay, so it was 0, and then it becomes 2, then it becomes -2, and then 3 minus 5 must be, or sorry, 3 minus thing must be -2, so we get 5, and then 9, it should be 10, right? 5, 10. Interpolating back in time. Oh, it was, this is the actual example, right? In the CF5. Okay, great. Send it. Okay. No, typo. Tragic. No prints. Oh, this is tragic. I'm definitely, that's so small. Okay, it's the right answer, but I missed leaderboard. 158. My brain was working so slowly here. Oh, man. Okay, well, I did pretty well in the first part, though. I bet leaderboard filled up really fast today. So for part 2, it didn't feel that fast. I guess it's already 6 minutes after. What did I get in part 1? Oh, I lost Antonio by how many? 3 seconds? Wow, okay, that's cool. And he probably leaderboarded on part 2, right? Oh, maybe he didn't. Yeah, he didn't leaderboard part 2. Okay, so I didn't pass Antonio because I got 2 points fewer than he did. Oh, I was already ahead of him. So I should have kept my spot ahead of him. But we both fell by 1 rank. Okay, that's a little sad. 66 points. But then I missed. That's pretty sad. 630, how close was I? Not close at all. Even without like a whole minute. I spent, like, once I got the first wrong answer, I'm a little curious if my first idea was right. I think I just sort of saw this pattern and the -1s, and I thought add, subtract, add, subtract, add, subtract. I think this might actually be wrong in that the first one is not always plus. It might be like you got to work backwards, but I am going to rewrite what I had just because I'm curious if it works. So I think what I had was multiplies 1 for I. Did I write that? I think I did write IV and enumerate diffs, although this was very unnecessary in hindsight. Mult times V, mult times equals -1. I think that's what I wrote. Mult RR times V 0. So initially I wrote V -1, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is the correct answer. Okay, this is so sad. Yeah, wait, no, this is not the bug I had, right? Oh, I might need to check the recording to figure out what bug I had. But I submitted this. I don't know how I got that number. Did I do V of I? There's no way, right? Yeah, that should have just errored. Okay. Whoa. Yes, this is just very wrong. Did I have it right? I'll need to check the video. I have the recording, but oh man, that's sad. I don't know exactly what way my solution the first time was wrong, but it was wrong. But my insight as to like it's you add the 10, subtract the 3, add the 0, subtract the 2 was correct. Yeah, this felt like if my brain was working faster, this should have been very, very fast, and just was not happening today. The first part was mostly just do it. What did I end up getting? I got 35. How far was I off of like higher ranks? 257. Okay, so there were a lot that came in around this time. Okay, that's interesting. Cool. Well, I guess I'll try and explain what was going on today. I think this wasn't mostly too hard of a question. There might be like more clever, like pure math solutions, but I think the solution that I wrote today, the solution that probably everyone on the leaderboard had wrote, was a just do it solution. So basically says take a sequence, compute the difference between each element, keep doing this until you get all zeros, and once you have that, then the question is like, if you were to extend with a 0 at this level, what was the original value? And basically the way I did that is like, okay, if you extend with a 0 here, that means that this value here has to be equal to the previous value. So this value A needs to be a 3. And then that means that this value B needs to be A, which is 3, plus 15. And you can sort of just realize this is like sort of a Pascal's triangle-esque thing, that the value at the very top rightmost corner will just be the sum of all of these. And that's exactly what I wrote the first time through. And it just worked. I'm going to comment this out because what I did solve it with was this. Anyways, that's part 1. Yeah, and again, you just do it. I think that, and you do it for every sequence, and then you return the like this value here. You add them all up for every sequence, and you return that. So again, like was just a just do it question. I think one way you can observe that like the sort of naive approach works is that these are all like pretty short sequences, and at most you're going to have to repeat this process of like computing differences n-1 times. I think like one example sequence where this happens is like the sequence 1, 2, 4, 8, like just powers of 2. If you do this, then clearly your like differences each time are just like the powers of 2 again. So this one will just keep happening until you end up at a single value. Did I actually have any of the sequences? Would this have broken my code? I guess not, because I wrote it this way, right? Yeah, I guess those sequences are fine for my code. Maybe those were an edge case for some people's code, but like if you were actually explicitly checking the differences were 0 at the end, I'm not sure. But anyways, again, this is like kind of a Pascal's triangle-esque thing. And since you only need to do it n times, and each line has like, just eyeballing it, I'd say at most 30 numbers, it's like completely fine to do that 30 times per line. So you just do it, and the straightforward approach works. But yeah, part 2 was just do the same thing, but on the left side of the sequence. And this is like a little more annoying to think about because you can't just add up all these values. Specifically, like, so what I first wrote was I looked at this and I did some extrapolation via like, oh, this is 5, this is 10, I see a 3 and a 2. It's probably like, and because this is like on the left, you're subtracting, probably it's 10 minus 3 plus 0 minus 2 plus 0. And you can probably just alternate the signs of these values and add them all up, and that will just give you the answer. That was my initial idea. And it turns out that idea was right. I had some bug that I wrote. I'm not really sure where I wrote it. But then that didn't work. And the thing I was thinking was, oh, maybe you need to start from the bottom and do like add, subtract, add. And this is pretty similar to the first idea, except the parity, right? It's like exactly -1 times the actual answer if the number of levels here is odd or even, right? So it's like very similar but subtly different. And I was thinking maybe that was the correct thing, but did I submit twice wrong? Or did I submit wrong twice? I'm not actually sure. No, I don't think I wrote that. I thought about writing that, and then I was like, then I realized that maybe that's the case, but maybe also I just extrapolated too far from this pattern, and I didn't have like a rigorous logic for why it was the +1 -1 +1 -1. I just sort of had an intuition there. So then I was like, I should actually do this the proper way. And the proper way is to sort of think about it like, oh, what is this value? This value is this. Well, so like this minus this equals this. And you can rearrange to say that this value is, make sure I get this right, this 2 minus 0. And then this value is 0 minus 2. And this value is 3 minus 2. And then that one works out. So that is sort of the more definitionally appropriate thing, but you need to like think about that. And maybe I'll go back to the video, but I spent some time thinking about it, of course. But that looks like this, and it looks very elegant, but again, like, you need to convince yourself that this is correct. And I think I took, because I got the wrong answer, and then I didn't have like a lockout, or the lockout was 60 seconds, and I didn't see it again. I took at least 60 seconds thinking about this. I think more like 2 minutes probably. And I think that was killer. If I'd written the first like pure intuition thing correctly, I'm really curious what I would have gotten. I think it still wouldn't have been super high, but I think I would have leaderboarded on part 1 had I not written a bug. But anyways, and yeah, that's day 9. I think this was one of the easier days in that it is sort of a just do it. And the thing that you just need to do here is not too tricky. I guess, like, again, this takes some thought. Like, it's not obvious. But yeah. I think that's all I have for day 9. Overall, like, I did fall on the leaderboard, but I got some points today, and I'm like reasonably happy with this. I think, let's see how close everyone is. 853. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like 100 points away from 7th or so. It'd be really cool to finish in the top 10 this year. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think the later days last year were pretty bad for me, but I guess we'll find out. And honestly, I'm happy to make leaderboard for one part of the day. I should try and not let my early good performance on these days go too much to my head. Yeah, but that's all I have for day 9 of Advent of Code, and I will see you tomorrow.